Welcome back to my YouTube channel, all of you. So today's topic of discussion is going to be introduction to folding of embryo as well as the pharyngeal arches. So let's begin with the video. In the last video, we saw the formation of the 3 germ layers. We also discussed the formation of blastocyst prior to the formation of the 3 germ layers. Before the formation of the 3 germ layers, this blastocyst has to get implanted within the uterine wall. This is basically showing the cross section of a blastocyst getting implanted into the uterine wall. During this process, changes occurs in the uterine wall as well as in the outer layer of the blastocyst. The first change is that the blastocyst now gets rid of the zona pellucida, about which we already discussed in the previous video. After this, there are changes in the uterine wall as well as in the trophoblastic layer, which leads to the implantation of this blastocyst inside the uterine wall, after which comes the formation of the 3 germ layers. We have already discussed till the formation of amnion and chorion in the previous video. With the appearance of the extraembryonic mesoderm and the extraembryonic coelom, the yolk sac now becomes much smaller than before and is now termed as the secondary yolk sac. The extraembryonic coelom does not extend into the part of extraembryonic mesoderm which attaches to the wall of the amniotic cavity, and this is called as the connecting stalk. Look carefully at these series of photos for better understanding. I hope with the pictures you are able to relate to where we are exactly heading towards. This is the embryo proper, which now contains 2 layers, the upper amniotic layer and the lower yolk sac. Now let's divide this region and view it from the top. It is now called as the embryonic disc, and please remember this for the reference of the future diagrams that we are going to discuss. You can now relate to this particular diagram seen here. At one circular area near the margin of the disc, cubical cells of the endoderm become columnar, forming a procaudal plate. The appearance of procaudal plate determines the central axis of the embryo. Soon after formation of the procaudal plate, some of the epiblast cells lying along the central axis start proliferating and create a bulge, which is now called as the primitive streak. This stage is now the stage of gastrulation, where the 3 germ layers have finally been established as an embryo. Now, the head end and the tail end have been established. The initiation of various structures like the notochord process and the neural tube start forming in the embryonic disc prior to the folding of embryo. Now let's see how this structure folds. As there is further enlargement of the embryonic disc, the embryonic disc becomes folded on itself in the median and the transverse planes, thus forming the head fold and the tail fold, as well as the lateral folds. This is termed as cephalocaudal folding. With the formation of the head fold and the tail fold, parts of the yolk sac become enclosed within the embryo and now is termed as the primitive gut. This will be forming the buccopharyngeal region and this the pericardial cavity enclosing the heart. Now I hope you can relate to this diagram well. Now let us see the further development of this particular region. The buccopharyngeal region or the stomodium starts forming 5 different swellings, which is now termed as the pharyngeal arches. These arches give rise to various structures of the head and neck region. This diagram shows the cross section of the frontal view and are divided into pharyngeal clefts and pharyngeal pouches. Different structures are derived from the clefts as well as the pouches. Each pharyngeal arch gives rise to various structures, and here is a list of different nerves, muscles, bones, and vessels which are derived from them. The pharyngeal pouches are endodermal in origin and the pharyngeal clefts are ectodermal in origin. Thus, the various structures which are derived from them will be endodermal or ectodermal respectively. There are actually 6 pharyngeal arches, but the fifth arch is lost transiently during embryogenesis, so effectively there are only 5 pharyngeal arches. Thank you for your patient listening. If you like my video, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.